There's a card trick where the whole thing works because you're looking at the pretty hand. The magician's waving the right hand around. It's got the flourish. It's got the shiny coin. It's doing little figure eights in the air, and you cannot look away from it. And the entire time, the trick is happening in the other hand, the boring hand, the one resting flat on the table that you forgot was even attached to a person. I bring this up because I've been playing a game called Aniimo, and Aniimo has the prettiest right hand I have seen in the creature collecting genre in a decade. It is gorgeous. It is genuinely stupidly gorgeous. You catch little monsters. You can turn into the little monsters. The world is this glowing open world paradise. And for about 3 hours, I forgot I'm a deeply suspicious person who reads the fine print on cereal boxes. And then I remembered to look at the other hand. So let's do that. Both hands, because I think Aniimo might be one of the best things to happen to the genre in years. And I also think there's a real chance it gets hollowed out from the inside before most of you ever touch it. And the gap between those two sentences is this entire video. Okay. The pretty hand first. Let's be fair to it because it earns it. Aniimo is a free-to-play creature collector from a studio called Palworld. You play a Pathfinder, you land on a continent called Ideal, and you catch creatures called, say it with me, Aniimo. The studio's not winning any awards for branding restraint. The game's the game. The creatures are the game. The studio named everything after the game. Bold, confident, slightly unhinged, and I respect it. You catch the creatures with little capture pods, standard stuff, big fluffy sheep, a fire puppy, the fire puppy's mom. I'm not joking. You catch the puppy and then you catch a bigger version that is canonically its parent, which is somehow the most emotionally complicated thing in the game so far. But here's the part that's actually new, the part that made me sit up. It's called twining. Instead of just commanding your creature to fight for you, you can merge with it, become it. You turn into the thing you caught, its body, its abilities, its whole way of moving through the world. Caught something that burrows, now you burrow. Caught something that glides, you're gliding, man. The camera changes, the moveset changes, the puzzles you can solve change. That's not a reskin of Pokemon. That's a genuinely different idea about what a creature collector is for. Pokemon, you're the trainer standing behind the glass. Aniimo, you climb into the suit. I've wanted somebody to make that game for 15 years, and these people just made it. And it looks great. Combat's real time, not turn-based. The world reacts to weather and the time of the day, so different creatures show up at different hours. So when I tell you the foundation here is good, I mean it. This isn't me being nice before the dunk. The dunk requires the game to be good. That's what makes it sad, because now we look at the other hand. I'll get to the part where this gets genuinely concerning, but first I have to tell you who's actually making this. The game's developed by Pawprint, fine, but it's published by a label called King's Glory, and King's Glory is a brand new publishing arm of a company called Fun Plus. Now, if you don't follow mobile gaming, that name means nothing to you. It sounds like a birthday party rental service. If you do follow mobile gaming, you just felt your stomach drop a little bit. Fun Plus makes some of the most aggressively monetized mobile strategy games on Earth. State of Survival, King of Avalon, the kind of games where you log in, you do your chores, a timer tells you to come back in 4 hours, and a pop-up gently suggests that for $99.99, you could skip the 4 hours. They are extraordinarily good at one specific thing, and that thing is separating people from money in increments. That is the company that owns the publisher of your wholesome little creature game where you turn into a sheep. So read that with me again. The wholesome creature game owned by the chore timer people. Now, to their credit, and I want to be fair here because being fair is the only way the criticism counts, the developers have come out and said it directly on the record. They've said Aniimo is not a gacha game. You won't pull for creatures. You won't gamble for the monsters you want. They've said monetization is mainly cosmetic. Outfits, little visual items, skins for you and your creatures. And maybe that's true. Maybe these specific developers genuinely love this game and want to protect it. But here's the thing nobody at the studio gets to control. The developers don't set the 5-year monetization roadmap. The developers don't sit in the meeting 18 months after launch when revenue dips, and somebody from the parent company asks why the cosmetic-only game is underperforming the chore timer games. The developers said the true thing they believe right now, today in a beta. And I believe that they believe it. But quick break, and then I'm right back to ruining a perfectly nice game for you. This video is brought to you by Luxshine, and specifically by the watch that's been on my wrist for the last month, the Caspian. And here's my actual problem with most watches in this price range. They're either trying so hard to look expensive that they look fake, or they're so plain you forget you're wearing them. The Caspian does the one thing I don't think you could do at this price. It just looks correct. Clean face, weight that feels like it means it. The kind of thing where people assume it costs 3 times what it did, and you get to decide whether to correct them. I wear it filming. I wore it to a thing where I was badly underdressed and it carried the entire outfit by itself. It's the rare object that's nicer than I am. If you want one, there's a link in the description. Check it out. Your wrist's been doing nothing this whole video. Okay, back to the sheep. The promise isn't the problem. The promise is real. The promise is who gets to break it later and whether the people making it will even still be there. This is the part I actually want to slow down on because it's bigger than one game. A free-to-play game is never finished. That's the whole model. It launches and then it's a faucet that's supposed to run for years. And the question of whether that faucet stays clean isn't decided by the people who built the pipes. It's decided over and over by whoever owns the building. And ownership doesn't have a conscience. Ownership has a quarterly target. I've watched this exact movie before. A game launches with fair, generous, player-first monetization models. Everyone says, see, you can do it right. And the model stays clean for about a year, and then the spreadsheet gets hungry, and the timed banner shows up, the limited cosmetic that's only here for 48 hours, the battle pass that's technically optional, but the game's now clearly built around it. Nobody flips one big evil switch. It's 1,000 tiny dials, each one defensible on its own, turned a quarter inch at a time until one day you look up and the wholesome creature game has a login streak and a daily store rotation and a creature you really want locked behind an event that ends Sunday. Not Gacha. They were honest about that, just pressure. The whole apparatus of mild, constant, well-designed pressure that the parent company happens to be the best in the world at building. And here's the worst part. The better the game is, the more it works. The more you love your creatures, the more leverage they have over you. They're not selling you a sheep. They're selling you the fear of missing the good sheep. So let me step off the gas for a second because there's a real person at the end of this. Picture somebody who hasn't been excited about a game in a couple of years. Adult, busy, got burned by a few live service launches, stopped pre-ordering, stopped believing the trailers, and they see Aniimo, and something in it reaches back to being a kid, that specific feeling of the world being huge and full of secret creatures, and you've got all summer to find them. And they download it because it's free, and for 2 weeks, it's perfect. It's the thing they remembered loving. They name their little fire puppy, they turn into it, they show their partner, look, I'm the dog now. It's genuinely joyful. And then month 3 arrives and the daily login and the thing they want that's leaving Sunday, and slowly the joy turns into a job. And then they don't even notice the exact day it happened because nobody ever does. They just notice eventually that they're logging in out of obligation instead of wonder. And they quit and they feel a little stupid for getting their hopes up again. That person didn't get got by a bad game. That's what makes me mad. They got by a good game owned by people who understand exactly how much a good game is worth once you love it. That's the whole risk. Not that Aniimo's bad, that it's good enough to be worth ruining. So, okay, sober moment over. Let's land this plane. And I want to leave you somewhere honest instead of doom, because here's the flip side, and it's real. The developers have also done things that point the other way. After early testing, players said protecting your creatures felt too grindy, and the studio added a free path to improve them. That's not the move of a company trying to sell you the grind. That's the move of a company trying to remove it. Reportedly, the spenders versus free players gap in beta was small. Small enough that I'll say out loud, they might actually be trying to do this right. So I'm not telling you to skip it. I'm telling you the opposite. Play the beta. It's free. It's good. Go turn into a sheep. You've earned it. I'm just telling you to keep one eye on the other hand. Wishlist it, play it, enjoy it. And the first time a 48-hour timer shows up on a creature you want, remember this video. And remember that the timer is the tell, not the gotcha they promised to avoid, the timer. It's all about timers. Vote with your wallet by keeping it shut on the FOMO and open on the stuff that's actually worth it. Reward the cosmetics you buy because you like them. Starve the cosmetics you buy because you're scared. That's the only feedback these companies actually read. This video found you at 2 a.m. while you're researching a beta you already signed up for. You know who you are. Do me a favor and hit like. It genuinely helps the channel get shown to more people who overthink video games for fun. Subscribe if you want more of these. And tell me in the comments, what's a game you loved that got slowly ruined by monetization you didn't notice until it was too late? Not the obvious ones, the one that snuck up on you. The one you defended right up until you just couldn't. I'll read them, and I'll see you in the next video. Cyler, out.